everyone, so I thought I would just do a get ready with me video today. There was one that had been requested by Aida, just my slap it on and go. And I wanted to play around with the iMovie editing software on my phone because I really haven't even attempted to figure out how to use it. So I thought I would just do my face for the day. It's a casual day here. It's Sunday, the week after the horrific tornadoes. And so there may or may not be an intro filmed for this afterwards. So I'm just shaking up the foundation that I've been using here lately, which I have not hauled this yet. I do have a collective haul I will be doing here in the next week or two. But this is the Merle Aqua Balance makeup, and I've already done my moisturizer and my sunscreen. Which I don't think I'm going to need sunscreen today because it's completely overcast. Comes in a tube like this, which winds up getting all in the threads of the cap and on this, but I actually quite like this makeup. And I'd also had ordered a setting spray, and I have not been back up there to pick it up. The weather this last week, as everyone in the world knows, has been very, very crazy. And I have found that I actually have really been enjoying putting my foundations on with my fingers. And I started doing that with the Givenchy foundation that I got because it sort of comes out really watery and then turns to a gel consistency. And it works best with the finger application, and I've just been doing all of them that way since then, and then I just smooth out with the brush afterwards. I would like to thank everyone who contacted me that knows where I live. I'm just outside of Oklahoma City. I'm 18 miles from where the largest devastation happened in Moore, and the tornado, what's called roped out, which means it just sort of falls apart and dissipates. It did that just 5 miles west of here. And the one that went through the day before, which was an EF4, went 4 miles south of us. So, and for those of you that have never been in a tornado area, they sound like a supersized freight train coming through. And you can hear the trees ripping out of the ground. Hollywood does a pretty good job of representing natural disasters with their CGI. However, movies do not do justice to seeing the devastation in person. And I don't know why I'm talking about some products. The HourGlass Mineral Veil Primer I hate for my face. It makes me really oily. I'm sort of scraping the inside of the little jar, and I've been using it on my eyes, which I don't think is terrible. And it was a total fluke that I used it one day. I couldn't find my Lorac behind the scenes eye primer, which I always layer under my cream shadows because it just holds on to them like nobody's business. And I couldn't find them. And even though my Smashbox cream shadows, which I bought yet another one of the other day, so now I own 4, do a really good job of staying on, I just prefer the primer underneath, particularly the Lorac, because I don't know, it just does something to my crepey lids and makes them look less crepey. I don't know if it fills them in like Bondo. But anyway, this does an okay job. And I might get careful with these kinds of colors, but this sort of has a sooty effect to it. I don't really want to say dirty, but sort of smoky. What I love about these Smashbox shadows is you can build up the color very easily or blend them out to nothing. So they're just super easy. And see how soft I just made that? Don't want a lot today. And powder goes over them and never gets blotchy or sticky. I find the MAC paint pots, I've owned 2. I have Constructivist, which I still have, and then Painterly, which was starting to get old, and I just didn't find myself reaching for it because I found it just made my eyes look old and it felt heavy on the lid. I gave that to my cousin who has 25-year-old eyelids. And in the summer, 99% of the time, I just reach for my Smashbox Suntan, what is this? Bronze Light Suntan Matte Bronzer. I wish Smashbox had more colors that I liked. This is the last color in their lineup. I had thought they had more. I thought they had 12, and I guess when they initially launched 2 years ago they did, but now they only have 8 shades. Better. Normally I'm not a, oh, you have to put powder on first. I know that, like Charlotte Tilbury says you need to, but I don't always. But I find with this foundation, just to help keep it locked in, particularly on my cheeks, I really need to set my cheeks before I put my blush on. My bronzers stay for whatever reason, and I broke my powder. I'm just setting it with the Sephora MicroSmooth. And I'm not using a lot. I'm not a heavy powder person. Box today, because it's out here. And I'm using the Real Techniques contour brush. I really like their face brushes. I just wish the handles were smaller, thinner in diameter. I have really small hands and they really cramp my hands using them. And I sort of feel like a kindergartner, you know, when you start out with the supersized crayons because you don't have the fine motor skills or the dexterity to hold on to a regular sized crayon. Yeah. And then now let's do something with some eyeliner. We need some eyeliner. I brought like 4 different ones out here because I didn't know how the cream shadow was going to look. And I don't really want a harsh in either Lilash or what's that other one? Lattice. But I don't really want my eyelashes to be longer per se. I mean, a little bit of length I'm not going to complain about, but I really just need more eyelashes. And everybody that I see on YouTube or in person that has used one or the other have ridiculously long lashes, but they're not densely packed. Like I want a product that makes my eyelashes look like Makeup by Tiffany D. Those are the kind of eyelashes that I want. I just want more. Okay, let me find my mirror because I have in the past tried to curl my eyelashes in my phone and have pinched my upper lid and it smarts like a bear. And this is the Tarte eyelash curler. It works okay. It doesn't get all of my lashes, but the shape of it is the closest I've found to my eye shape. I don't have a very flat eye. And why don't they make mascara wands long enough to get to the bottom of the tube? You know, there's probably 30% of the mascara left in there at the bottom. It's a racket, I tell you. And of course you can take the little sleeve out that wipes off the wand to pull the product up. Then you can't clear your wand. So, but I just haven't had a chance to run to the mall. And when you have a horrific natural disaster come through, it sort of puts it all in perspective. Like, I'd actually tweeted when I had run into the bathroom to just grab some stuff because we were getting ready to leave. We don't have a storm shelter. And I wanted to pack just a little bag with the essentials, like my contact lens solution and just some bare necessities makeup. And it really puts it into perspective, all this makeup that we buy and how superfluous it is when your life is in danger. So, yeah, I figured out what it is that I really liked, and that's all I packed, and a pair of panties. My friend Anna, we were talking about that. She said, forget the panties, save the makeup. I kind of felt that way too, but, you know, at least one pair of panties to take with you. So, if I don't touch that to my lid, this is the Jordana, then it doesn't irritate me. But it really lengthens. And it's a really pretty mascara on its own, if I could wear it. Fortunately, I can only layer. However, I have to put about 5 coats of this on, and the Dior show is basically 1 coat. So that is my eyelashes done. I probably Chanel. And it's the Rosy Glow. This is just fun to put on because it goes on so bright and then it just tones down. And then if I want to tone it down even further, I use my Rimmel Santa Rose blush. I did a top 5 blushes last year, and I'm going to go back and see which blushes I thought I couldn't live without and see if any others have bumped some out of the top 5. And I may do an updated video for you guys. That's scary. You guys, if you are in the market for a brow pencil, have got to get this Laura Mercier. The stuff sticks like nobody's business. Like, to the point where it's almost difficult to wash off in the evening. It doesn't come right off. You have to put just a tiny bit of effort into it, not a lot. And there goes Cully. Pitter patter of dog feet. And there that is. And then the Tom Ford, what is this? Traceless foundation stick in 02 Pale Dune. It's a foundation that I purchased and the color was not my color at all. And it turned a weird color on me. Actually, is the most amazing under eye concealer I've ever used. So rather than send it back to Neiman Marcus, I kept it. And it's going to oxidize here in a minute, so I won't have that reverse raccoon look. Such a pretty pink, but I think it's too blue for me in the summer. And I like the way it smells. That is it, guys. Again, thank you so much for the outpour of concern for my family's welfare and the animals. We were very, very blessed There were others that weren't. Certainly the people who lost their lives, the 7 children who drowned in the grade school when the water pipes burst. So that is it, guys, and we will